presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
Joe Mauer and the Twins nearly rallied last night, but fell 7-6 in game one of this series, but still in a great spot. Just a game and a half behind the Yankees, and they're a game and a half up on the Angels and Orioles for that second wild card spot. Byron Buxton in the cage taking some BP. The good news is he's back in the lineup and batting third here tonight. And it is an absolutely perfect night for baseball in downtown Minneapolis. Game number 2 of this 3-game weekend series between the Twins and the Royals. And Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by State Farm. Welcome inside Target Field. The Twins have had so many great contributions lately offensively, but one of the real hidden jewels has been the play of Joe Mauer. Great in the field as always. That great athlete over at first base has been awesome, but the bat really heating up at the right time for Paul Molitor's team. If you look at the numbers, he's riding a 10-game hitting streak into this game tonight. Had 2 hits in the game last night. The average at 400 during that hit streak, which has his overall average up to 297. Now, he hasn't finished a season over 300 since 2013. He might do it this year. Hits in 19 of his last 21 games, and Paul Molitor knows that brings great value to his lineup.
We've seen him locked in for the majority of the season, and obviously there's been a little bit of an uptick here through the month of August. And but what I like that Joe brings is he's the same guy every day, and he doesn't get caught up in the big game and the big moment. He's the same, and I think that's something that, you know, has resonated with a lot of our young guys, to be able to model themselves in that type of mindset of how you go about being successful in this game.
Mauer and the Twins try to support Kyle Gibson, who's been really good of late. When we come back, Dick Bramer and LaTroy Hawkins with what's been working for Kyle Gibson in those last 2 starts, and how can he duplicate it tonight against the Royals.
Ball on Fox Sports North is presented by Toyota. The national clearance event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. By CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. And by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. It's a beautiful night for baseball, and your Minnesota Twins are smack dab in the middle of the wild card race. They'll rely on Kyle Gibson to do tonight what he's done in his last couple of starts, and that is pitch very, very well. He'll be pitching against a young man making his first major league start, Onelki Garcia, in Game 2 between the Twins and the Kansas City Royals. Welcome to Target Field. Dick Bramer and LaTroy Hawkins with you. What we've been reminded of when watching Kyle Gibson in his last 2 starts, this guy's got really good stuff.
Yes, he does have really good stuff. And, you know, when he goes out there and establishes fastball and uses breaking pitches to put these hitters away, especially a very aggressive Kansas City Royals team, you know, when he throws his slider from strike to ball, he gets the left-hand hitters to swing it right over the top of it. And with right-hand hitters, when it's breaking over the middle and in that left-hand batter's box, it looks like a strike to those guys that he can't hold up on their swing. And that's one of his better effective sliders. And his other pitch is a very important changeup, and he throws it right on right. Last game against the Toronto Blue Jays, he threw a 2-2 changeup to Josh Donaldson, had him way out front. It's a great pitch when you're ahead in the count against these big right-hand hitters. And his fastball, he's throwing it 66% of the times. And we're talking about strikes, we're talking about quality strikes. Slider 63% of the time. His changeups are more effective in the last 2 games, and his curveball been just a tick better than it had been his first starts of the season.
He used to absolutely own the Kansas City Royals, but the Royals showed last night that they still can score some runs. Game 2 between the Twins and the Royals coming up next.
Good pitch right here, Kyle.
And he does. For the 2nd inning in a row, he pitches his tail off. Strike 3.
How about that?
Kyle Gibson cruising through 7 innings. Swing and miss, and Gibson is on a roll. Got him. What an inning for Gibson. And the Twins would like to get 7 of those good innings from Gibson here tonight in Game 2 with the Royals. Twins have done a nice job since early August, bouncing back after a disappointing loss. They had one of those losses last night, losing by 1 run to Kansas City. Gibson this year had a couple of earlier starts against the Royals, didn't go particularly well. He's had a good career mark against the Royals, and it's great to see that man in center field. 48 hours ago, it looked like Byron Buxton's season might be over, but he is back in center field and batting in the middle of the Twins lineup tonight. Ned Yost hoping his team can get to the 500 mark here today and regain some legitimacy as a wild card contender. Here's the Menards batting order tonight. Whit Merrifield, Lorenzo Cain, Melky Cabrera, Eric Hosmer, Salvador Perez, Mike Moustakas, Brandon Moss, Alcides Escobar, and Alex Gordon. And Gibson, who comes into this game with good career numbers against Kansas City, 5-4 with an ERA of 3.79. Hoping to continue a pattern that started to evolve in the middle of August. He's actually put 3 good starts in a row together, hoping that number 4 will come tonight. And Merrifield takes strike 1. What we've seen, LaTroy, is a lot of that. A lot more of that. First pitch strikes.
Yeah, definitely throwing a lot more first pitch strikes, getting ahead of hitters, making them swing at his pitch and, not hitting, hitting their pitch. He's done a great job of it.
Breaking ball, missing the edge and getting a check swing, 1-1.
We talk about his first 19-20 starts in the big leagues this year, but when you play the game and you're around the guys every day, we always talk about it's not how you start, it's all about how you finish. And he's headed in the right direction to finish on a very high note.
You mentioned it in the open, not just strikes but quality strikes like the one you just saw. 94 miles per hour on the outside corner will play time after time after time.
It'll never get old.
1-2. And another breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Gibson, no stranger to the Royals, of course. Merrifield's faced him 9 times, gotten 3 hits. Cain's faced him 28 times and just 5 hits.
Good changeup right here.
Got him with the changeup. 1 down. Northland Ford defense for the Twins. It just looks better with Byron Buxton in center field, doesn't it? Adrianza's at left. Rosario switching to right with the left-hander going for Kansas City. Escobar, Polanco left side of the infield. Dozier and Mauer on the other side, and Chris Jimenez back behind the plate. Mitch Garver did a nice job last night. Threw out a runner, and Garver might get the start again tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. Here's Lorenzo Cain, just 5 hits and 28 at bats against Kyle Gibson. In the dirt, ball 1. This afternoon, the Yankees beat the Red Sox 5-1, so the Twins need to win to stay 1 game behind New York for the first wild card spot. Off a foot, foul, 1-1.
Right there, Garver set up. No, Jimenez set up in right there, and we always talk about how when you go in, you want to miss in. You don't want to miss over the middle of the plate. I talk about how you see that catcher reach across his body to catch a ball. When he reaches across his body, I mean the ball's in the middle of the strike zone.
High fly to left. Adrianza has a play, and he makes it 2 down.
And that was another good changeup right there from Gibson. And we talk about how a hitter has to make up his mind, especially right on right changeup, whether it's a fastball or a changeup. And you can see once he recognized it was a changeup, it was just a little too late. His hands had already went forward, and he was out front and just was able to lift that ball up, pop it up.
Hey, can you tell? I mean, we saw Gibson's reaction after Cain hit it off the end of the bat and lifted it to the left field. Can you tell from the mound that the guy was out in front and it's just a harmless fly ball?
Well, on that right there, he took such a big swing and was still able to elevate that ball. You kind of just don't know. But then once you turn around, your eternal clock or whatever, okay, that was just a pop-up, a lazy fly ball.
Okay, all right. But for a brief moment, you're not sure sometimes.
No, because, you can make good pitches over the middle of the plate, and get lucky. He missed right there with that changeup, but since it wasn't a fastball, Cain was fooled, and he was able to just elevate the ball and not get anything behind it.
Melky Cabrera with a 4-hit night last night. Gibson ahead 0-2, and now strikes him out. Talk about a clean inning for Kyle Gibson. 1, 2, 3. The Royals go down and go down quickly. short. We'll see if they can get an early lead and maintain it. Paul Molitor's team was the surprise in Major League Baseball in August with 20 wins. Now they're looking for their first win in September with this Menard's batting order. Brian Dozier, Joe Mauer, Byron Buxton hitting third. Jorge Polanco, Eduardo Escobar, Mitch Garver, Eddie Rosario, Chris Jimenez, and A. Ray Adrianza. Facing Onelki Garcia, making his first major league start. And his numbers there, the result of one relief appearance, where the first 5 batters he faced all scored. And then he started getting outs and ended up getting 17 of them. That's a rough way to start your major league career. Giving up a home run, a couple of hits, a walk, and then a 3-run home run.
Been there, done that.
0-1 to Brian Dozier. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. He can throw 94. There's some debate as to what his best secondary pitch is. His coaches are trying to tell him it's a changeup, and he maintains it's a slider. So we'll see both. And Dozier's got to be ready for anything on 0-2. And it's a fastball off the plate, 1-2.
Well, Nelke's going to be 90 to 93 with his fastball. Right there, you saw he was at 95. 77 to 80 with the curveball. And like you said, a lot of people say his changeup is his best pitch, out pitch.
Just off the outside corner again, and Garcia kind of cocked his head like, where was it? 2-2.
He's outside.
And a changeup misses, and it's 3-2.
Well, last year, the Royals signed this guy out of the Mexico League. 14 appearances, a 3.82 ERA, including 3 starts. It was 0-1.
Got ahead of him 0-2 and lost him to a walk. Garcia with a little extended look toward home plate umpire Mike Winters. Northland Ford defense for the Royals. Gold Glove winners in left and center and behind the plate, of course. Moustakas and Hosmer very good. Whatever's wrong with the Royals, it's not their fielding. Their defense is still very good. And there's Gordon struggling at the plate, but as good as ever defensively. Dozier with a leadoff walk, and now Joe Mauer. Not quite as extreme as what Mauer faced in the White Sox series. And now he takes ball 1. Couple of hits last night for Joe, and the average keeps climbing. One good night away from the 300 mark.
You said last weekend in Toronto, he's ready to make a streak towards that 300 mark, and he hadn't looked back. Swinging the bat extremely well.
Paul Molitor said before the game today regarding Joe that, what we've seen this year is what we used to see, extended runs of excellence where Joe's getting a hit or 2 every night, and where the last couple of years we would see it for maybe 10 days and then some difficulty. Driven to right center field. Off the base of the wall, Dozier around third, he'll score, and Mauer very quickly puts the Twins up 1-0.
You're going to pitch behind the count, young man. You got to make better pitches because that's right in Joe Mauer's wheelhouse. And he doesn't pull the ball that often, but when you throw it right there, he will pull it. And it was a stand-up RBI double for him.
And with Mauer at second, nobody out, Byron Buxton stands in the batter's box.
It's great to see this young man back in the lineup.
Did the game Thursday, and we started the broadcast concerned that we might not see Byron play again this year with what appeared to be a hamate injury. There's a bunt, foul, and we might see more of that too. If you remember, when Byron left the game on Wednesday, before he left with Mike Pelfrey on the mound, Byron tried to bunt a couple of times, ended up singling up the middle, and then had to come out of the ball game. But the reason he tried to bunt with the Twins up 5-0 and with Pelfrey on the mound was his hand was hurting.
I like his thought process, but I'd much rather him tell them and get him out of the game so don't go out there and, you know, further injure that wrist or that hand.
1-1. To right center field, down for a hit. It'll run to the gap. Mauer will score. Buxton flying around second, on his way to third. A stand-up triple. And there's nothing at all wrong with that left hand.
Fastball right down the middle. He's able to drop the barrel on that, shoot that ball into the right center field gap, and all we can see is locate his numbers because he has to chase that ball, and Bucks is off to the races. A stand-up triple.
3 batters into the game. The Twins lead 2-0, and the Royals bring the infield in for Jorge Polanco. Over the inside corner, strike 1. Polanco started the scoring last night with a 2-run home run. And as he stands in for his first at bat tonight, the score is already 2-0. Driven to the left center field gap. All the way to the wall. Buxton is home. And Polanco's at second base with a double.
Talking about starting the game off with a bang.
These aren't cheap hits, LaTroy.
No, not at all.
And Polanco tees off. And the Twins here tonight are hitting him gap to gap. It's the old story about a pitching coach meeting the pitcher and catcher on the mound, and the pitching coach asked the catcher, "What's he got?" And the catcher said, "I don't know. I haven't caught any yet." 3-0, and Escobar will hit with a runner at second and nobody out. And this start by Garcia, reminiscent of his first major league appearance when the first 5 batters all scored. And he delivers strike 1 to Escobar.
First pitch changeup right there. He switched it up.
Chopper up the middle, fielded by Alcides Escobar, and Escobar in making an out. Eduardo Escobar in making an out advances Polanco to third base. And now Garver's job is to bring him in, get his first big league run batted in here. Bit of a gamble, of course, when a manager has 2 catchers and he has one of them as a designated hitter, but that's what Paul Molitor did today. When I saw the lineup, I thought for a moment, well, maybe they activated Jason Castro, but that is not the case. Jimenez is catching, Garver's the DH, and he takes strike 1. Hadn't been the first pitch that's gotten Garcia in trouble. It's the 0-1 pitch.
Well, he's been just missing over the middle of the plate, and you know, we talk about, you know, big league hitters going to hit your mistakes. He's going to have to mix in that changeup, possibly that slider, and get those guys off his fastball.
Fouled off the mask of Mike Winters, and Perez checking with him immediately. Marty Foster will have plate duty tomorrow. Mike Malinsky's at second, Mark Wagner at third. An all alliterative umpiring crew with Mike, Marty, Mike, and Mark.
I wonder, like in regular everyday life for umpires, is it anything out there that makes them flinch? They flinch so much during the game, and you know, foul balls, walking down the streets, I'm like, boo. I don't flinch. I've been flinching for 25 years.
0-2 to Garver, and he pokes one foul. Rosario ended the game last night. He hopes to have a first inning at bat here, hitting 7th against the left-handed Kansas City starter. 0-2. Check his swing. 1-2. Garver with a couple of triples, couple of singles. Still looking for his first big league run batted in.
Here it is right here.
Inside, almost hit him. 2-2. Tapper wide of third. Paul Molitor said today that he's very happy with what he's seen from Garver behind the plate. Calls a good game, blocks pitch as well, came up with a really strong throw last night in throwing out Eric Hosmer after Hosmer got a really good jump. 2-2. Pass Moustakas. It'll be a hit. A single for Garver and a run batted in, his first in the big leagues, and it's 4-0. Good at bat, falling behind 0-2. Got the count to even and found something he could hit hard into the ground. And that's going to be the end of the game for Onelka Garcia.
It was just an elevated changeup that Garver stayed on and was able to punch it through a Moustakas, who was playing in just a bit.
So Garcia doesn't last the first inning as the Twins knock out the Kansas City starter. Still only one out in the inning. And watch the balance of the first inning, having been knocked out, retiring just one batter, and even that batter had a productive out. Escobar advanced Polanco from second to third, and Andres Machado, there are his AAA numbers. He comes in here in the first inning. Machado's major league debut. And Eddie Rosario will be his first big league hitter.
Machado last pitched on the 27th of August in Oklahoma. 5 1/3, 6 hits, no runs, 3 base on balls, and 7 strikeouts.
Made a rapid climb through the Kansas City system, and here he is in the big leagues. Taking outside ball 1 is Rosario.
He hadn't pitched above rookie ball coming into 2017 and flew through their organization.
The Kansas City organization, like every organization, starving for pitching. You realize you're taking a great risk walking around the field during batting practice in front of the team that employs you, the Minnesota Twins, and other teams, because you look like you could still pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-1. And
Richard, looks are deceiving, believe me.
But everybody's looking for pitching.
Pitching, I mean, you can never have enough of it, and it's always been like that, and it will always be like that.
2-1 to Rosario. Well, I know you're committed to your retirement and you're happy to have retired, but my goodness, every team is looking for anybody who can get somebody out, right-handed, left-handed, and so that helps explain Machado's rapid rise through the Kansas City system. And Rosario takes a close pitch for ball 3.
Pitching wins championships, and pitching has been at an all-time, you know, everybody talked about it this past offseason because of the World Series with the Cubs and the Indians, the way they use different pitchers. And you know, that's the key. You have to get those guys who can pitch multiple innings and throwing 100 miles an hour and throwing quality strikes, and it's always going to be like that. You never have enough pitching. If you got a pitching problem with a surplus of pitchers, it's a good problem to have, because a lot of teams are pitching poor, as they call it.
Yes.
Pitching poor.
It would be a seller's market if you had a surplus of pitching, that's for sure. Full count to Rosario. Garver goes, and the pitch lifted to left. Gordon comes in, makes the catch for out number 2, and that'll bring up Jimenez. Eighth batter of the inning. So Machado's retired his first big league hitter.
Machado's featuring a 95 to 98 miles an hour fastball, and he threw Eddie Rosario a couple of 90 miles an hour changeups that were very good down in the zone.
Up and in, ball 1. Well, the news just keeps getting worse. Tampa Bay's trying to, fight through a really tough schedule to finish the season and win a wild card spot. Now Chris Archer left the ball game facing just 2 batters. He's their ace. Gave up a couple of home runs to start the ball game, and now he's done for at least tonight.
Hopefully it's nothing serious with that kid, man. He can pitch, and we were talking about, I should have mentioned him yesterday when we were talking to Joe Nathan about his slider and Brad Lidge's slider.
Big fly ball left center field. Kane calling for it. And Garcia exits early. Machado relieves and gets the last 2 outs. But the Twins got 4 hits and 4 runs in the first inning. Double driving in Brian Dozier. That was the start of what was a very good bottom of the first inning. Byron Buxton with an RBI triple, later a run scored. Polanco with a double. So a quick start for the Twins, 4-0. And Kyle Gibson got this game started on the right foot with a very quick 1-2-3 top of the first inning. He'll face Hosmer, Perez, and Moustakas.
The first 4 hitters the Twins scored before we recorded the first out.
Missing outside, ball 1. Foul back, 1-1.
Good 1-0 fastball. We talk about being up in the zone, but that's the height right there where Hosmer can't do any damage to you. That's, anything just a little higher than that is a swing and miss. And we saw that yesterday. When you get 2 strikes, that's where you attack him at.
My image of Hosmer so often is not him swinging and missing, but doing what he's done here on the last 2 pitches. Now he does swing and miss. He struck out 89 times and just over 500 at bats. But he seems to be one of those guys that almost always gets a piece of the ball, piece of the pitch, keeps a lot of at bats alive by fouling them off. When a ground ball foul.
Right there, Jimenez set up in. You can see his glove. He wanted that pitch down. It's a slider at the back foot, just a little elevated. Hosmer was able to get a piece of it. So if they go in there again, he wants that ball down on the ground.
There.
Change up right here, down in the zone.
That changeup has improved so much. He's developed more confidence, it seems, with every start, and he's already got 3 strikeouts. 1 down in the second. Let's find Kevin Gord.
Yeah, Dick, it's time for our car scoop from the clubhouse. We'll start with Dylan G. Took the loss yesterday, and Paul Molitor was asked about putting him back in the bullpen. He said not necessarily. We're going to take it every time through the rotation, 1 step at a time. We'll see how Kyle Gibson looks tonight. Robbie Grossman, good news, getting much closer, being sent to Rochester for a little rehab stint. He'll only bat left-handed, not right-handed yet with that thumb. And Byron Buxton, talked to him, guys, about how he feels. He said he's still not pain-free, but he knows this team needs him in the lineup right now with what's at stake in September. He basically begged his way into the lineup. Paul Molitor acknowledged as much before the game, and thank goodness he did, because he's already made big contributions in that 4-run first inning, guys.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin. 1 strike to Perez. And a check swing, 1-1. Regarding Grossman, he's going to Rochester, and he might return to the big league club as soon as Monday in St. Petersburg. Just getting 1 game's worth of at bats in, and then of course rosters are expanded, so there's less of a concern to see whether someone's completely healthy or not. Pulled to third, couple of hops to Escobar. 2 down. And when he does rejoin the club, it might be just as a left-handed batter for a while. The injured thumb is his left thumb. That's his bottom thumb, and it's from a right-handed swing. That's the thumb where all the pressure is from the top hand. And so left-handed, there's nothing on top of that left thumb. Right-handed there is, and eventually the hope is he'll be able to be a fully functioning switch hitter.
Well, the good thing is we got a couple teams that are in the playoffs, so he definitely has a place to go to rehab need be.
Moustakas cracks the first Kansas City hit as he strokes it toward the gap. Adrianza gets it back in, a 2-out single for Moustakas. And that'll bring up Brandon Moss.
I was talking to Moustakas around the batting cage today, and we're talking about how his swing is just so, smooth, and there's nothing going on between, once he get ready to fire and to the ball. It's straight to the ball, none of that extra movement. He is smooth, and he said, why do I need all that extra movement? I got one thing on my mind, is make hard contact.
There's Mitch Meyer. He is the first base coach filling in for Rusty Kuntz, who's been there for years for the Kansas City Royals. Very well respected baseball guy and a former Twin going back to the mid-80s. This one lifted foul and out of play. Rusty's had some eye issues, and they will be resolved, but for safety reasons, because Rusty's vision has been impacted a little bit with an eye issue, Royals decided to let Mitch Meyer fill in at first base for Rusty Kuntz, who remains on the bench. One strike to Brandon Moss. Hit a 2-run home run last night. Up and in, 1-1.
Well, I was talking with Mustakas and actually with Brandon Moss also, and I said, B. Moss, you never get off the fastball. I said, only pitch I can hit. Why would I ever get off of it?
Well, that might help explain his .202 batting average too. Grounded to Dozier, and the inning ends. You're watching Twins baseball, presented by State Farm. The top half of the inning and the bottom half of the first. And a reminder that you can stretch it out at Target Field Yoga Night Wednesday, September 6th. The event features a 1-hour on the field yoga class taught by Core Power. The event includes a Twins branded yoga mat, Twins game tickets, and a donation to the Twins Community Fund. Get your tickets today at twinsbaseball.com. On Yoga Night on Wednesday, I believe we'll be on a plane about ready to land in Kansas City for a 4-game series next weekend. Final series of the year between the Twins and the Royals. 1-1 to A-Ray Adrianza.
Hey, Richard, I'm curious to know which yoga pose would be your favorite pose.
Well, I don't know anything about it. I know the lotus, or I know.
You look more like the downward dog type of guy.
Really? No.
Downward dog type of guy.
Sense that there's an insult in there someplace.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It stretches out your back.
I'm going to Google that during the next break and see whether I want to continue working with you tonight. Downward dog.
There you go. That's it right there.
3-1 to Adrianza. Twins took a leadoff walk in the first inning and rode it to 4 runs. And now Adrianza takes a leadoff walk in the second.
The same way the first inning started off, with a leadoff walk.
Twins have done well against the Royals this year after being dominated by the Royals the last few years. And the Royals are at a point, the Twins have been there in recent years too, where every loss this time of year seems like 2 losses, if that makes any sense, because the Royals need to get 2 and then above the 500 mark, and they're running out of time. Dozier takes strike 1. Royals are 3.5 games out of a wild card spot, 3.5 games behind the Twins. But there are 5 teams between the Twins and the Royals in the standings. Jason Vargas has had a disappointing second half after making the All-Star team this year. And again, it looked like the Royals were ready to take off. In fact, they did take off in July. They had a concurrent long winning streak with the Cleveland Indians as the Twins were struggling on the West Coast, and then everything kind of fell apart in August. They didn't pitch very well. They didn't hit at all. That's just off the outside corner, 2-1.
A lot of teams bunched up together for that wild card. Twins, Orioles, Angels, Tampa Bay still part of it, Texas, Seattle.
2-1 to Brian Dozier. Started towards second, then had to hold up, and now a half swing by Dozier costs him a strike. 2-2. Adrianza took off and then slammed on the brakes. I don't know whether Dozier was distracted by that or not. And now they throw over. Inside, 3-2. Mauer on deck.
Looked like a 2-2 changeup right there from Machado. Righty on right changeup. Let's talk about one of the best pitches in the game right now. It used to be a taboo to throw a changeup. You know, a right-hander throwing a right-hander a changeup. That's used to be, no, you don't do that. Or a lefty throwing another lefty a changeup. No, it's not something you do. You know. But over the years, with more velocity being introduced into the game, and you know, the change has become a very important pitch.
Adrianza goes, and ball 4. Adrianza slides in head first. It's ball 4, and the inning starts with a pair of walks. 2 men aboard now for Joe Mauer. Our State Farm combination for tonight, Joe Mauer. And the fact that we talked about it last night, he's drastically cut down on his strikeout rate. All signs of his improvement as a hitter, and you can try to explain it any number of ways, but it's part of his improvement. Maybe it's nothing more than his restored health. Maybe the concussion issues lingered to the point where it impacted his mechanics, his approach at the plate. But he's looking more and more like the Joe Mauer that used to win batting championships.
And I think I'll attribute it to more, you know, he's healthy. And we talked about, you know, Molly giving him those days off here and there and keeping him fresh and
healthy in terms of his legs. Yep.
Yep. And, you know, you talked about concussion. Maybe he's, you know, completely past that now. And that's why we're getting a chance to see the old Joe Mauer. That's it. People complain about, well, why does he only play 5 days in a row, 4 days in a row? Why does he need that day off? Well, we're trying to keep him healthy. And the easiest way to get hurt is when you're starting to get fatigued and trying to push through it, especially when you're older. When you're younger, you can do that. But when you're older, you know, you try to push through fatigue, things start to break down.
1-1.
And he's been fairly healthy this year, and I think it's been a direct cause of, you know, the way Molly has handled him.
He's played in 115 games. The Twins have played 134 prior to tonight. He's made 4 pinch hitting appearances, so 1-1. And Adrianza needs to be careful. He's taking a huge secondary lead. And Perez notorious for back-picking runners. And nobody gets a better view of a runner at second taking a big secondary lead than the catcher. 2-1 to Mauer. Sliced foul, 2-2.
It must be nice to be able to just, you know, rear back at 2-1 and throw a 97 miles an hour fastball. And was in a
oh, come on, you did that all the time.
These guys throw consistently 97. I didn't throw 97 consistently. I had to, you know, reach back and try to get something, but not 97. I think the highest I ever threw was 98, and it was a pitch to Miguel Tejada in 2002 playoffs. The hardest I ever threw.
2-2 to Joe Mauer. Foul by a foot. Mauer hitting at 298. If he gets a hit here, he might have a 300 batting average by his next at bat. Machado trying to pitch around a couple of walks to start the second inning. And that's a tough pitch, and Mauer fought it off. Tapped it foul.
His changeup is 91 miles an hour right there. That's just as hard as some guy's fastball. But a great pitch when you keep it down in the zone and it has some, some sink to it.
A prolonged at bat. Base hit left field. Adrianza around third. Gordon's throw to the plate is not in time. And Dozier scampers to third. 2 RBI hits for Mauer, and it's 5-0. And here comes Ned Yost.
Another good piece of hitting right there by Joe Mauer. A fastball at 97 miles an hour away from him. Didn't try to do a lot with it. Saw that hole over there because Escobar is playing shaded up the middle. Base hit. Scored RBI right there.
Gordon overshooting the cutoff man, and that allowed Dozier to go to third. This is a bit unusual here with the manager coming out instead of the pitching coach. Nobody warming up. And the conversation seems to be as much with everybody else on the mound, not exclusively the pitcher. Eye contact was made pretty much with everybody on the mound.
Right, but I think that meeting was more about, hey, young man, you're going to be out here, okay? So go ahead and,
walk people,
throw some strikes and get some quality strikes, all right?
Well, here's Buxton. Tried to bunt his way aboard in the first, fouled it, and then took his first swing and rifled a triple to right center field. Big swing and a miss. When there is a swing and a miss, you can't help but look at Byron's face to see if there's any
grimacing,
wincing, whatever. Didn't appear to be any on that swing and miss. 1 strike. Inside 1-1. Byron's one of the more pleasant guys in the clubhouse. Will greet you with a smile, and you can tell just looking at him that he's very enthusiastic about playing the game of baseball. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. But when he walked in the other day with the scan, I've never seen him look with appear with a more worried look on his face. He was very concerned about what that scan was going to show. They read it here at the ballpark, and you could tell he was very concerned about whether he's going to be able to play anymore. Little number. This is going to be an adventure. He's safe. And Hosmer drops the ball. Dozier scores. That ball traveled maybe 30 feet from home plate. A swinging bunt for another hit for Byron Buxton.
Machado didn't have a chance to get Buxton right there because he went towards the ball so casually. When Byron Buxton's running, you got to be very aggressive. And Hosmer's watching Dozier at third base, and Dozier took off as soon as Machado released the ball, and he was trying to get quick to return throw to the catcher, and he wasn't able. It's a single and an RBI for Byron Buxton.
Here's Polanco, still nobody out. 6-0. And Gordon overshooting the cutoff man, allowing Dozier to go from second to third. First and second, nobody out. Polanco cracked an RBI double in his first at bat. And there's a strike.
Raised that average for the season with runners in scoring position to 274, 50 RBIs. Kid's having a great second half to the season.
And his season average is up to 260, and you would have thought that, I mean, that would have been unheard of given where his average was at the start of August. 213. On the outside corner, 1-2.
Really good fastball.
Four in the first inning, 2 already here in the second. And I think you're right on about what Ned Yost told Machado. He said, look, you want to keep walking people, it's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt us at this point, because your ERA is going to skyrocket. Now give the young man some cover on this. This is his major league debut, and as you said, prior to this year he hadn't been pitching above rookie ball.
The kid got a great arm, and for him to have a very good feel for the changeup, I mean, he can pitch. You know, it's just the game's a little fast right now, and it doesn't help when you walk guys, but you know, he's good arm, very good arm.
Base hit, right field. Mauer around third. He's heading home. Melky Cabrera flips it casually to second base. And the Twins are having a lot of fun early on here tonight. 7-0.
Stay hot, Polanco. Guys in scoring position, he's been an RBI machine. The changeup right here, a little up in the zone, fading away off the end of the bat, but he found a hole. Was able to get Mauer in from second base.
Twins have 7 hits, 7 runs. They've taken 3 walks. They've only made 3 outs. Here's Escobar.
Escobar made the first out in the first inning.
Fouled over the Kansas City dugout. Twins having a good night here so far, and we want to wish happy birthday to some other, we can't call them Minnesota Twins, but they are twins. One of them lives in Minnesota, the other lives in Iowa. Donnie and Denny Meyer, each turning 65 today. One of the twin brothers lives in Owatonna. And get this, LaTroy Hawkins, the other lives in Waverly, Iowa, which is the county seat of Bramer County.
Bramer County
in Iowa. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, I think they pronounce it Bremer County. 2 strikes to Escobar. Driven deep to right center field. Kane after it. It hits on the warning track. Buxton will score. Polanco coming in. Escobar with a 2-run triple. And tonight the Twins have done everything but hit a home run. A couple of triples, couple of doubles, a handful of singles, mix in a few walks, and it's 9-0.
And still hadn't made it out in the second inning.
In the inning, a pair of walks, now 4 straight hits. And Mitch Garver comes up with Escobar at third and nobody out.
Mauer's RBI was his 860th of his career, and it ties him with Justin Morneau for 5th on the Twins all-time list.
Infield in. Twins already up 9-0. And Garver takes a low, ball 1. Garver drove in his first big league run, grounding a single past Moustakas and into left field.
Infield in just like the last time. See if we can get the same results.
Checked his swing, took a strike, 1-1. Starting pitcher Onelki Garcia only got 1 out. And Machado's got 2 outs. And Mike Winter says that's outside. 2-1. Gibson says, keep scoring, boys.
Well, we're averaging 6.2 runs per start for Mr. Gibson. I'm sure he's enjoying that.
3-1. With Rosario on deck. Foul back, 3-2. Twins scored late on the Royals, put together a nice 2-run rally in the 9th inning last night, and jump right out of the chute here tonight with a 4-run first, a 5-run second so far. And Garver takes low, a ball. And now Ned Yost has got to come out and get Machado. A disastrous start for the Royals. And Skoglund will be expected now to get 3 outs, because the starter only got 1. Next guy got 2. And now they'll ask Skoglund to get 3 outs. And they're going to progress that way until the game ends.
We'll be here at midnight.
Presented by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. By Grand Casino. The best stories start here. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. That's not a misprint. Twins are leading 9-0. They've only made 3 outs here tonight. Joe Mauer with a couple of run-producing hits. And now Eric Skoglund will be the 3rd Kansas City pitcher. And he enters the game with nobody out in the 2nd.
It's a tough go for the first 2 pitchers, Garcia and Machado. Skoglund 1-2 with a 10.64 ERA, 11 innings, 9 strikeouts, 7 walks.
Skoglund, one of 4 left-handed relievers that the Royals have. And Rosario will hit here for the 2nd time in the 2nd inning. First and third and nobody out. Rosario hitting 7th in the lineup tonight.
Skogland's last outing was against Cleveland. 1 1/3 of an inning pitch. 7 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 punch out.
Outside, ball 1. Hosmer not sure what to do. He will hold the runner Garver at first. Foul back.
Well, it's just down in front of us, Richard.
Yeah. Twins 7 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Both numbers very high for the second inning. That they've had 8 at bats with runners in scoring position is impressive, and connected to the fact that they have 7 hits with runners in scoring position. That's deep to the left field corner. Gordon chasing it. It's a foul ball. And Rosario making a bid for an opposite field home run or extra base hit. Just landed on top of the angled wall, padded wall.
A chance to meet Eddie Rosario's dad last night.
Yeah.
Walking out of the stadium.
Pleasant
Troy
gentleman.
Hawkins. Troy Hawkins. And I look at you're Rosario's dad because they look like twins.
Up high, and it's 2-2.
And then had a chance to eat some of Rosario's mom's food this afternoon. He brought food to the clubhouse and had some good old Puerto Rican food with a little fried pork chop. Very, very tasty.
And Rosario spanks another one foul.
I love how he just battles against left-hand pitching. Just foul the ball off until he makes the pitcher make a mistake where he can, get a good sweep.
There's
on it.
Eddie's
Those
dad.
pops.
Yeah.
Mucho gusto.
Fouled away. Game's about an hour old, and there's not an out in the bottom of the second.
Kyle Gibson threw his last pitch at 6:42.
Nearly a half hour ago. And a breaking ball, and Rosario gets a piece of that.
Been a part of a lot of games like this, and I can tell you what, they're only fun on one side of the field.
And Paul Molitor's been on the other side of far too many of these, and well, not so much 2 years ago, but certainly last year. Launched to right field, and Melky Cabrera makes the catch. There's an out, but here comes another run. It's 10-0.
Another good productive at bat right there by Eddie Rosario against the lefty. He just hung in there, fouled off some very, very tough pitches from Skoglund until he was able to get a pitch he can handle and hit a fly ball out to right field and got that runner in from third base.
So a long at bat for Rosario, ending in a plate appearance. Sacrifice fly, his 60th run batted in. And now here's Jimenez with Garver at first and 1 out. Down and I beg your pardon. Mike Winter called it a strike.
He's getting tired also.
Outside now, 1-1. Jimenez with a fly ball to center to end the 4-run first inning. And now outside, 2-1. Houston won this afternoon, beating the Mets 12-8. Roughing up Matt Harvey. Quite ironic that Matt Harvey would make his return to the active roster as the whole Southeast Texas area is recovering from Hurricane Harvey and the torrential rain that accompanied it. 2-2 to Jimenez. Full count.
They unleashed a hurricane on Harvey. 2 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned runs. It was good. Baseball's being played in Houston.
And now a walk to Jimenez. The 4th walk of this inning. And Adrianza, who started it all this inning with a walk, will stand in again.
Twins have officially batted around, and there goes my score sheet. Combined 51 pitches from Royal pitchers today in this inning.
And with those, they have accumulated 4 outs. 2 of those productive outs, a sacrifice fly and a ground ball that got a runner from second to third. Adrianza takes low, ball 1. Twins scored 20 runs in a ball game earlier this year here against Seattle. Beat the Mariners 20-7. And the inside corner is called. 1-1.
Think about batting twice in the same inning, Richard. Think about what Fernando Tatis was able to accomplish years ago when he had 2 grand slams in 1 inning.
Breaking ball over, and it's 1-2.
And I think it was off the same pitcher, maybe Chan-Ho Park. Maybe I think Chan-Ho Park. He had 2 grand slams in the same inning.
Only time it's ever been done, obviously.
And being able to come up, the bases loaded in the same inning twice. Now his son is a shortstop for the Padres in their Midwest League team in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the Tin Caps.
Swing and a miss. Adrianza strikes out number 2, and now Brian Dozier, who's walked twice and scored twice. What's wrong with your scorecard now?
I had to go over to the 3rd inning because Adriano batted twice in this inning, so messed it up. It's all right. It's a lot of shaded in. A lot of runs scored right there. On our side, yes. Good thing.
Inside to Dozier. 10 runs for the Twins on 8 hits, a whole bunch of walks. They have not hit a home run yet.
Oh, just turning your way to say, you know what, we hadn't hit a home run yet.
And now 2-0. The Twins record for total runs, both teams 35. Back in 1996, the Twins beat the Tigers 24-11. Popped up, straight up in the air. Perez should have a play, and he makes the catch. The Twins back up a 4-run first with a 6-run second, and Kyle Gibson has gotten a lot of run support. Won't complain about the run support he's been given tonight. 10-0 lead. And Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by State Farm, here to help life go right with the home and auto protection you deserve. One hit allowed by Gibson. Moustakas' 2-out single, and now he'll face Escobar, Gordon, and Merrifield. Escobar having a disappointing year at the plate. So too is Alex Gordon. Royals stepped up a couple years ago to sign Gordon to a free agent deal. They've got a decision to make this winter on Escobar. Pulled foul. 0-2.
You know, when you're a pitcher and you have your team goes out there and scored a lot of runs early, you have to, make sure you stay focused, because you can easily, okay, well, I got a 10-run lead, I can start doing. No, you want to stay focused. You still want to have the mindset as the game is 0-0 or is a 1-0 game or 2-0 game. You have to stay focused. It's easy to start, losing train of thought because you have a huge lead, but you want to stay focused right here. Continue to do the things you've done the first 2 innings.
And Gibson, I think, stopped it with his shoe. 1 down. Put the glove down, but I think he actually stopped the ball with his spikes.
Breaking ball right here. Escobar was able to make some good contact. Yep, he stopped the ball with his front foot, kind of rolled up his arm just a little bit and felt right there where he didn't have to go far to get it.
Here's Alex Gordon with a sub-200 batting average. Swing and a miss. And again. Oh, 0-2. Kansas City's left fielder. Gordon signed through 2019, so there's 2 more years left in his current deal. It's hacked down the line, but it's a foul ball.
Gibby and Jimenez opted for the high fastball right there. They got him 0-2. I think he's going to try to get him away, get him out with a slider down and in, or change up, middle way down in the strike zone.
Got him on the inside corner. 2 down. Looked inside to Gordon, looked inside from up here. And that's because it was inside.
That's right. The ball did come back just a little bit, but it wasn't a strike. But umpire called it a strike. It's a strike. Strike 3.
2 down, and now Whit Merrifield struck out to start the ball game. One 1-0 to Merrifield. Fastball up high. What in the name of Abner Doubleday is going on in Baltimore? They couldn't score last night. Well, the Orioles finally did in what was it, 12th inning? They scored 1-1-0, and it's scoreless in the 4th inning again tonight. Fouled away. 2-1. Two and 1 with 2 gone here in the Kansas City 3rd. And now 3 and 1. Lorenzo Cain on deck. And now 3-2. Good crowd on hand here tonight. A lot of different activities going on a Saturday in early September. Not the least of which the State Fair. But the fans here tonight have been treated to quite a show.
A laser show tonight.
A lot of extra base hits. Mauer backhands it. Feeds Gibson, who found the bag.
Just the way you draw it up in spring training.
Mauer fielded that ball about 40 feet from the first base bag and made the play. A 1-2-3 third. Joe Mauer will come to the plate in the fourth with a .300 batting average. Lets us get caught up.
4 runs, 4 extra base hits in the first inning. See Polanco right there with the base hit for RBI. Joe Mauer, Polanco scores. Second inning, Joe Mauer with the base hit. Yeah, Buxton with the swinging bunt. Dozier scores. Escobar with the triple, with a 2-run triple. Just swinging the bats just extremely well, and you have Gibson right here. He's throwing everything for strike, everything we talked about in a pregame that he needed to do to be successful. He's done so far. 3 innings, 1 hit, 4 Ks. It's a lot of scoring.
Yes, it is. And the Twins now will start the 3rd inning. Mauer's 2 for 2, and yes, his batting average is .300. Strike 1.
You called it a week ago.
Well, again, it was just kind of an extended run that we saw Joe hitting the ball hard in most of his at bats, sometimes hitting in some tough luck. But the difference is, we used to see, as I said, a week and a half stretches of what we've seen from Joe now for about 10 weeks. 1-1. And then the defense too. I mean, my goodness, he sold out on that ground ball in the top of this inning. He had to go a long way to his right, and probably knew Gibson was going to be where he was going to be. Gibson's a good fielding pitcher and covers the bag awfully well. 2-1. 3 for 3 for Joe Mauer.
Just mentioned about him hitting everything hard. He hit that ball right there on the screws. So fastball elevated to him right here, and he just hit it right back up the middle. That good balance, nice swing. Everything's off the barrel, making it look easy.
Talking about making it look easy. Byron Buxton's average is up to .253.
Just a young man who continued to work at it the whole season and trusted trusted his ability and what J. Rowe, our hitting coach, was preaching to him, and finally he started all to come together.
On July 1st, Byron Buxton was hitting 195. And now 1-1.
See, the Royals already starting to make some changes.
Yep. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. When Buxton got the news that his hook of the hamate was intact, not broken, he said, "Tape me up, let's go play."
You have to respect that from a young man. 23 years old, understands how important he is for this lineup, offensively and defensively. And he went to Mahler and told him, "Hey, there's nothing wrong with him, just a little sore. I'm ready to go."
2-2, and a foul into the seats. Hitting .216 up to the All-Star break, hitting .327 since. He did something like this last year, but he didn't really get started until September, and he put together a great September. This year, his surge started in July. 2-2. And I guess it's a measure of how talented he is that even when he was hitting sub 200, teammates, his manager would say, we're a good team because of his defense. That's how good he is. He could hit 200 and still be valued. And all that said, we hope he never hits 200 again.
Well, when you talk about what an incredible young man Byron Buxton is, and we've talked many times about all his struggles at the plate and how he never once took that out to center field with him.
Jam shot. Mondesi's at short. They'll get one out, but no chance for two. Mauer retired. Buxton reaches on a fielder's choice. That'll bring up Polanco, and our cold hard facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Highest slugging percentage in the major league since August 17th. It's not Rizzo, it's not Goldschmidt, it's Jorge Polanco at .825. An RBI double and an RBI single so far for the Twins shortstop. Strike on the outside corner.
Skoglund's gotten more outs than the first two guys combined.
Granted, they set the bar awfully low, though, didn't they? With just 3 outs between them. Have you figured out your score sheet issue over there?
Oh yeah.
You just scratch out the 4 and you put in a 3. You scratch out the 5 and you put in a 4.
Well, I'm not official like you are, where you can scratch it out because
it's printed there, but
right. But it's dark in that area, so I can't scratch it out. But it's fine. I can make an adjustment. I made the adjustment. Just shifted everything over 1.
Now I stopped after I changed the 9 to an 8. Because if the Twins hit in the bottom of the 9th, I don't think I'm even going to be here.
What did
you'll have to carry the broadcast all by yourself.
What did Lott say? He said, "Whoa, whoa, ruh-roh,
ruh-roh,
ruh-roh."
4 runs in the first, 6 in the second.
Ruh-roh.
And we checked, the team record for runs scored was in that I'm sure very long game the Twins played with the Detroit Tigers back in 1996. That's to left center field. Two away. When the Twins beat the Tigers 24-11, that's both the record for most runs scored in a Twins game, but also the team high for runs scored in a game.
I was there.
In '96.
Yeah.
That was the year the Tigers lost 119 games, I believe. And they had to win the last day of the year to keep from losing 120 and match the Mets. Here's Escobar. Well, you were there, and I hope the fact that the Twins pitchers gave up 11 runs, that you didn't give up any that day.
It's a good chance. If I pitched, I gave up some.
We'll get Kevin out of our research staff to find out who drove in all the runs in those games and who gave them up. I'll bet you're not on that list.
It's a 50-50 chance.
1 strike to Escobar. Up the line, foul. The date was April 24th, 1996. It was early in the season.
No, I wasn't there. I got sent out to spring training the first cut. Wasn't me.
In '96, really?
Yes. Yep. So it was impossible that I was on that list. Whew. Get me over here sweating.
0-2 to Escobar. A 2-run triple his last time up. And another bouncer foul. It would be nice, not that the Twins will need his help here tonight any more than he's already provided help, but I think this is one bat the Twins would like to get going, because the longer Miguel Sano has to sit, the less apt he is to see any time at third base. You know, it's been a while now for Miguel, and his return is not imminent based on the fact that he hasn't done any baseball activity, hasn't been able to put any weight on his left leg. 2 strikes. Just missed.
Well, you know, we got a lot of guys, you know, throughout that lineup that's swinging the bat extremely well with, you know, Mauer, Polanco, Rosario, Buxton. You got some guys swinging the bat, so you don't miss him nearly as much.
Now a fly ball to right. And Melky Cabrera makes the catch. A scoreless bottom of the 3rd. Gibson can't wait to get back out on the mound.
And an emotional one at that, as the Astros return to play a home game at Minute Maid Park today for the first time since the devastation of Hurricane Harvey. At the moment of silence, the recognition of the first responders, and there's Mario Sylvester Turner on hand. See the Astros beat Matt Harvey, ironically, and the Mets 12-8, first of a doubleheader. You can get involved by going to redcross.org or text Harvey to 90999 for an automatic $10 donation. Everybody get involved. Help those folks out in Houston. And guys, great to see the Astros back on the field. I know with the season they're having in 81-53. If your team can't do it, if the Twins can't win the World Series, we'd love to see the Astros get there for all those folks. Bring them a little relief and a little happiness in a very difficult, certainly, end of the summer for everybody in Houston.
Well, I couldn't agree more, Kevin. We want the Twins to get to the playoffs. We want them to do well if given the opportunity. We want them to sweep the Astros. But, you know, it's not a direct parallel. But, you know, what baseball did for New York City after 9/11, the hope is that baseball can somehow provide some relief to the Houston area in a similar way.
Well, it should. Baseball has a unique.
Paulo Orlando grounding a single up the middle.
Brings people together, and you know, just give the people of Houston some kind of normalcy. You know, being able to watch their baseball team play in the summer, and especially in the playoff race.
Right. Leadoff single for Orlando, who's in for Kane, and now Melky Cabrera.
I was telling you before we came on live that I was there in 2008 when Hurricane Ike hit, and we didn't have any of the flooding, and they shipped us off to Milwaukee to play 2-3 home games against the Chicago Cubs.
Strike one.
And we got no hit by Zambrano the first night. I think we got one hit the next night by Ryan Dempster, and I think the third night Ted Lilly, you know, pitched very well against us also, and we're in a playoff race.
Double play grounder. And yes, Polanco fields and steps on the bag, fires to first, 2 down. That'll bring up Hosmer. The Twins have organized an online auction to support the American Red Cross in its effort to assist the Houston and Texas Gulf Coast communities. You can bid on your favorite Twins game-worn autographed cleats from the 4th of July game. And not only will the proceeds from the auction go to support the American Red Cross, but the players will match every dollar donated to support the initiative. You can participate in the auction until Sunday at 7 p.m. by visiting twinsbaseball.com/auction. Or you can join the players in donating directly to the cause by visiting youcaring.com/twins for Texas. 2 down. And here is Hosmer. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
That slider right there, talking about mentioning with Gibby that he needs to throw to be successful, just under that left-hander swing towards the back foot. Had Hosmer fooled right there, thinking that he could get to that ball. Take another shot inside with a fastball this time.
Missed inside, 1-2. Toronto scored a run. They're leading Baltimore in the 5th inning 1-0, and Texas is leading the Angels 3-1. If this score holds or something similar to it, good heavens, it hit better. If the Twins win the game and the Orioles and Angels lose, they'll have a 2.5 game lead in the wild card race over the Orioles and the Angels. And what that man has done with this ball club, I think, has been remarkable.
Yes, indeed.
2-2.
We look at that 103 loss season last year, and watching from afar, I watched a couple guys, you know, watching the guys just, you know, not play Paul Molitor type baseball, not the way he played the game, and, you know, running the bases right and taking pride in your defense, and a lot of things that went wrong last year. And it seems like Molly's like, okay, you guys don't want to do it my way, try it your way. And when they did that, you see that they end up losing 103 games. Now they've you know, started to listen to their Hall of Fame manager coach, and you know, they're having a good season because what he epitomizes, running the bases, being a smart baseball player.
Attention to detail.
Attention to detail.
Gibson will make the play himself. Faces just 3 men in the 4th, and you're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm. as they get ready to hit in the bottom of the 4th inning. Victor Martinez twice this year has had to deal with an irregular heartbeat, and the Tigers and Martinez doing the smart thing, in my opinion. They're shutting him down. He's going to have a heart procedure which should regulate his heartbeat. He hopes to, obviously, be healthy enough to come back for the final season of his deal with the Tigers, but a scary, scary situation. And the doctors will tend to Martinez, and he hopes that he'll be ready to go in 2018. No point in pushing things the way the Tigers season has gone and what the front office has done.
Wishing Victor Martinez a speedy recovery.
Strike one to Mitch Garver. Garver, Rosario, and Jimenez. Drew Butera's in at first base right now. Melky Cabrera's out. Bonifacio's in right field. Butera at first base. We may see him on the mound before this thing is done. Hope not to have to do that in September when you've had some call-ups, but 1-1 to Garver. Foul. Out of play.
I'd like to know whose record was better this year when they did TV monitories. Win-loss record.
Yours or Torres?
Yeah, I think I got him.
Okay. Well, you had a good series in Toronto. They won 2 out of 3.
Swept the Indians at the end of June.
Okay.
They played well against the Rockies as well.
They won 1 game against the Rockies here.
March.
1-2 to Garver, leading off the 4th inning for the Twins. And dribbled foul.
Yeah, they won this first game of that doubleheader. In my second broadcast, I had to
do the doubleheader. That's right.
18 innings.
On the outside corner, Garver is rung up on strikes, 1 down.
Good breaking ball right there by Scolen. He just caught some of the outside corner. Garver never even tried to offer at it.
And now Eddie Rosario. 2 fly balls, 1 of them driving in a run in the 6-run 2nd inning.
Oakland's come in and 49 pitches and 32 strikes so far. But approaching his 51st pitch now.
It's looking more and more like the Twins will not have anyone drive in 100 runs this year. Sano's been stuck at 77. Dozier has 74. But what they will have, should they get into postseason play, is a lineup 1 through 9 that should be able to produce runs throughout the lineup. And isn't that a nice asset to have as you go into postseason play? If of course the Twins get there. Where are you going to hit Buxton if they're playing in October? You're going to hit him 3rd or 5th? He won't have the RBIs of others, but he's certainly picked up his RBI game.
If Dozier can have the type of month that Polanco and Rosario had as far as RBI, he has a very good shot of getting to 100.
2-2.
What I like about the offense right now, they're doing it without having to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
We've talked about that, how some teams, and when the Twins swept the 4 games with Milwaukee, they were struggling because their run scoring is so reliant on hitting the ball over the fence. And then when you don't do that, that's how slumps occur. But what we've seen from this Twins team, the ability to do both. The fly to center. Paulo Orlando's out there. 2 down. That'll bring up Jimenez. Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball with you wherever you go. Jimenez, the batter, with the bases empty. Twins taking control of this game early. 4 runs in the first, 6 in the second. Skoglund, the third pitcher. The first 2 pitchers got a total of 3 outs.
Had a chance before we went on live today, meet with some season ticket holders in a room somewhere in this beautiful ballpark. Couldn't even tell you where I was, but had a good chance to sit down and chat up good Twins history and how I like what I'm doing now and all that good stuff. Twins season ticket holders.
And one of the great things about this ballpark, for those of you who have been limited maybe to the seating area, the tribute to the history of this franchise in artwork throughout the ballpark, in the suites and in the concourses, apart from the main concourse blocked in the dirt. Ten to nothing, Twins in front. Two and 2 to Jimenez. And now a full count. It's raining in Chicago. The White Sox are leading the Rays 3-1. Chris Archer had to leave the ball game after just a couple of batters with right forearm tightness. So they'll be very careful with him. And now Jimenez takes a walk. And Skoglund so close to pitching the Royals through a 1-2-3 inning. Now he'll have to face Adrianza. Adrianza drew a walk leading off the second, scored a run, and then ended up striking out later that inning.
Adrianza didn't bat in the first inning, but he batted twice in the second inning.
Inside, ball 1. The complexion of the American League Central's changed quite a bit in the last 12 months and might change more in the next 6 months. The White Sox have gone into full rebuilding mode. The Tigers have joined them now. They're getting rid of as many contracts as they can, and they're still stuck with some that they can't shed. Indians have their window of opportunity right now, and the Royals may, to some degree, go through a rebuilding process of their own through no fault of their own. They've got a lot of guys graduating into free agency at the same time. 3-0 and a strike. Some key members: Kane, the center fielder, Moustakas at third, Hosmer, normally their first baseman, Escobar, their shortstop. And now Adrianza takes a walk. First and second, 2 down.
3 of those 4 guys are home. 2 of those 4 guys are homegrown talent. Kane and Escobar coming over from Milwaukee. I think in the Zach Greinke trade.
And so the Royals, we talked about the Indians and their window of opportunity. The Royals' window may be closing. They played well enough in July for the Royals to be buyers, bringing players like Melky Cabrera in. But a very poor August, and they hope they won't have many games like this one here tonight. Here's Dozier. 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and a foul out.
Talk about their window of opportunity. They lost the World Series and they won one. A lot of homegrown talent. That's the way you like to do it.
Yep, and they won back their fan base in that period of time. And the fan base might have to be put through another rebuild. You know, and it's tough because, and I've heard Dayton Moore talk about it, You like to avoid that, but it requires your farm system to consistently produce. And the run that the Twins had from the turn of the century for a full decade is not the norm. Unless you're in a big market like the Red Sox or New York or Los Angeles, it's unrealistic to expect a mid to small market have a window of opportunity that was open as long as it was here when you played for the Twins after the turn of the century. 2-1 to Dozier. There were some shrewd trades that extended that run. We talked about the trade that brought Joe Nathan over to the Twins last night when he was our guest.
Nathan and Liriano for A.J. Przinsky to San Francisco.
Skoglund might be running out of gas, but there's no activity in the Kansas City bullpen. And a strike. 3-2.
Dozier had already started to take off his shin guard. A fastball right here from Skoglund, right at the knees, a little down, but you know, I hate to say it because strike is a strike. It's 10-0, and I'm sure the umpire probably has dinner reservations somewhere.
Deep to left field. It is back and gone. A 3-run home run. And Dozier has now tied Sano with 77 runs batted in. Skoglund had retired 5 men in a row, but he walked Jimenez and Adrianza. Almost walked Dozier, but instead this.
Fastball middle in right there. Dozier was able to bring his hands in and get the barrel of that ball for a 3-run home run, and Skoglund knew that ball was gone when he hit it. See right there, he's not so upset at the umpire calling the 3-1 fastball to strike at the knees because it resulted in a home run.
All forgiven. Yep. Glad I didn't walk. Sano and Dozier with 77. Then that young core: Kepler 24, Rosario 25, Polanco 24. Buxton will catch them pretty soon at the rate he's going. He's 23 years old.
Brian Dozier's home run estimated at 376.
Thing of beauty. Anything under 400 feet I love.
And why is that?
I like home runs that just simply go over the fence. I'm not into long distances. It doesn't matter. It's in the scorebook. It could be 476 and it would still count for 3, right?
Right. What is it going to say in the scorebook tomorrow?
4 hits for Joe Mauer. And we're just in the 4th inning. A double, 3 singles. And the inning continues.
Fastball right over the middle of the plate. Just hit it back where it came from, right back up the middle. And that raises Joe Mauer's batting average to 302.
I think it was 302 before the single.
Oh, it was. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's go. Update. Come on. Update.
You gotta put another quarter in your laptop there.
303. There we go.
1-0 to Buxton. He's got 2 hits, reached on a fielder's choice.
Keep on rising to the top.
Pulled foul. Look at this, and we're just in the 4th inning. Mauer 4 for 4. 1-1 to Buxton. And now 1-2. At least there's some activity in the Kansas City bullpen. I'm guessing that this will be the last man that Skoglund faces, approaching 80 pitches. And with McCarthy getting loose. Got a pitch up, fouled straight back. Again, when he gives the full swing, and I've not seen one grimace or wince or any suggestion that it, come game time, hurts him to swing a bat.
It'd probably be, it'd be good to get Buxton this last at bat and get him out of the lineup. Get somebody else in there so he can get some early treatment and some extended treatment on that hand.
The day game tomorrow. 1-2.
I'm sure soon we'll start seeing, guys get shuffled out of there.
Slow bouncer to short, and the force at second ends the inning. Twins get a 3-run home run from Brian Dozier. And Joe Mauer picked up his 4th hit of the night. Twins in a romp so far here at Target Field. Mountain Dew fans of the game, man, is this a fun night at Target Field for young and old alike. 13-0.
A lot of cotton candy right there with those kids.
And a first pitch strike to Salvador Perez. We've admired Perez's durability, and granted he spent some time on the shelf with a intercostal strain. But here he is in a blowout game in the 5th inning, catching. Drew Butera's in at first base. And I suspect that this will only further his reputation in the brotherhood of players, that he's out there. He hasn't asked to come out of the game. He may finish it behind the plate. Drilled to center field. A solid single to open up the fifth inning. And that'll bring up Moustakas.
Or he could be done. You just let him hit this inning.
Yeah, there you go.
Done.
That's exactly what's going to happen. So he got his hit. He's 1 for 2. And he will be pinch run for by Cam Gallagher. Moustakas may get a full game here because he's on the brink of making Royals history. He singled to center field his last time up, but last night he hit his 36th home run. That ties the franchise record for home runs in a season, held by Steve Balboni.
Bye-bye Balboni.
Balboni, for those of you not old enough to remember, or maybe you're too old to remember and have forgotten, Balboni was a mountain of a man, a gentle giant, and he was put on this earth athletically. There's a line drive. Dozier with the catch. He'll be just one out. Athletically, he was put on the earth to hit the ball over the fence. Moustakas with a liner to Dozier, one down. And that'll bring up Brandon Moss. Moss with a grounder to second. Inside, ball one. Gibson's given up 3 singles. Hasn't walked anyone. Toronto's opened its lead over Baltimore 2-0. Toronto hitting top of the 7th inning. The Yankees won this afternoon, so they'll stay ahead of the Twins regardless. With the teams in the rearview mirror for the Twins right now, the closest teams are all losing. Fly ball left center. Rosario drifting toward the gap. That's Adrianza. Beg your pardon. 2 down. And that'll bring up Alcides Escobar.
Talking Cal Gibson changeups like we talked in pregame, how he needed to throw more and be more efficient with him. He's done that tonight. You know, threw one right there for the strike 3, one right there for a swing and miss by Gordon, and one right here for a ground ball from Brandon Moss.
Raul Mondesi Jr., the hitter, hitting an Escobar spot.
Raul Mondesi, what a cannon he had.
You're talking about his dad.
Yes, his dad. Wow.
His son looks like a completely different type of player.
Slick fielding shortstop. Completely different player.
And the one thing he's proven to be able to do at this level is bunt. But I doubt, seriously, I hope, seriously, I fervently pray he doesn't bunt in a 13-0 ball game.
He's hitting 0.95. If he bunts, I wouldn't be mad at him.
Huh? Come on.
No.
2-1.
Then 295, that's different. He's in 0.95.
In his own way, he's a key guy moving forward for the Royals, because among position players, the Royals feel has a high ceiling, but he needs to hit quite a bit better than what he's hit so far. And he slams a line drive to left. And there are runners at first and second now with 2 down.
More of that right there.
Because they may lose Moustakas through free agency, and they may have to move Merrifield across the way to third base and let this young man play second base, or they may lose Escobar and they may need him to play short. So we were talking about before, when the Twins had their extended run, they were getting production from within to maintain the open window. And if the Royals don't have guys like Mondesi, Paulo Orlando, he's not that young anymore, but if he can't be a fixture, then the window will be necessarily shorter than the Royals hope. Popped up behind the plate, and Jimenez has no play.
That's why having a minor league system that's stocked with, you know, very good players and high-ranked prospects helps negate losing a lot of those free agents, especially when you're trying to rebuild. And you know, they have some good-looking prospects that they've brought up to the big leagues, and hopefully they can you know, take the burden off some of the free agents that they might lose, and keep the fan base where they are right now.
1 strike to Gordon. Off-speed pitch, dribbled up the line, foul. You know, then there's the cost of winning. Royals had to give up some prospects to get Johnny Cueto. They probably wouldn't have won the World Series without Johnny Cueto, but it cost them, among others. But Brandon Finnegan, I believe, was in that trade. going to the Reds. One of the talented lefties in their system.
Out of TCU.
2 strikes to Gordon.
I don't know what that is, but it smells extremely good.
You have to remember who I have worked with for 22 years. I lost my sense of smell 10 years ago. A scoreless fifth for Kyle Gibson.
We're having here with the Twins up by 13. Velma to my right from Summit, South Dakota, 94. Her party, some of the best seats in the house. And Velma, you brought good luck. You came for your first time. We need you back more often. 13 runs. What's this like to experience here at Target Field?
It's a beautiful place, and I'll sure come back again.
And how handsome is that Joe Mauer right in front of you at first base when the Twins were in the field, right?
Yes. Yeah, oh, he's worth coming back to see.
He's worth coming back, and guess what? It's also worth it for the Minnesota State Lottery. You're going to get 100 scratch-off tickets to go home and celebrate with a Twins win. Joe Mauer front and center, guys. No complaints from Velma and her crew from Summit, South Dakota.
All right. Summit, South Dakota, not too far from my hometown of Dumont, Minnesota. Just take Highway 12 out of the Twin Cities if you want. You keep going, and looks like you go about what, a half hour or so into South Dakota, and you'll see Summit. Population 288.
Off of 29, right?
Yeah.
I think I've been that way on Twins Caravan.
On Caravan, maybe. The ball hit to center, and it's hit directly at Paulo Orlando, and Polanco's retired, 1 away. McCarthy in to pitch. Cuthbert in to play third base. He's another one of those guys that the Royals are going to count on. Chesler, Cuthbert, Cam Gallagher behind the plate. 1 down in the 5th, and now Eduardo Escobar, a 2-run triple and a run scored in the 6-run second inning.
Kevin McCarthy last pitch on the 28th of August. In Tampa Bay, 1 inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout.
A blast to right center field. Orlando chasing it. That ball is gone. Over the scoreboard in deep right center field. Escobar has a triple and now a home run. Second home run for the Twins in as many innings, and it's 14-0.
Fastball right here, just down the middle, slightly in just a little bit right in his power stroke, and he was able to deposit that ball over the scoreboard in center field, right over the 403 mark.
And now Mitch Garver. An RBI single in the first, his first big league RBI since then, a walk and a strikeout. And I'll say it again, the Twins would love it if Escobar's bat would show some signs of life, because as the Twins move forward, he may be the most important player in uniform if Miguel Sano can't take over eventually at third base. One and one. One hopper to Cuthbert. Two down. And that'll bring up Rosario. Rosario 0 for 2 with the sacrifice flies at 3 balls to the outfield.
Escobar's home run estimated at 417 feet.
Hit it almost directly over the 403 foot sign. And Rosario lifts another foul, another souvenir down that left field line.
Rosario and Jimenez, the only 2 guys in the lineup that don't have a hit tonight.
Adrianza's got a couple walks. I don't think he has a hit yet.
Adriana, Jimenez, and Rosario. So
right.
The last 3 guys in the lineup. 7, 8, 9. So all the damage been done by the first 6 guys.
0 and 2 to Rosario, and now 1 and 2. Well, the Royals won a tight ball game last night, got to within a game of the 500 mark, but this apparent loss here tonight will make life more difficult. Nico Goodrum just called up. Looks like he might be ready to make his major league debut. Just off the outside corner, 2 and 2.
It was Escobar's 13th home run in 2017, his career high. Hit
Right.
12 in 2015. I think he got about 4 or 5 more for the season.
Dribbled up the line. And a low throw. Gutierrez used to blocking pitches out of the dirt. He had to block a throw and make the catch for the out. Escobar's home run makes it 14-0. Another switch hitting infielder for the Twins, just called up yesterday. He'll make his debut at second base, and he'll hit third in the bottom of this inning. And Kyle Gibson with 5 shutout innings. First pitch bounced foul. Pitch count is good for Gibson, just 63. He's completed 5 innings. And we'll see how the Twins play it with Gibson, who's been very efficient here tonight. One would think he will be able to continue that with the Royals substituting freely, getting later and later in the game. 1-1. Twins don't have an off day till a week from tomorrow. So every inning, every out that a starter can get, even with the expanded rosters, is very much appreciated.
Yes, it is. Nico Goodrum, second-round pick in the 2010 draft by the Twins out of Fayette County High School in Fayetteville, Georgia. First name is Cartier. Nico Goodrum.
Okay. 1-2, and now 2-2. Merrifield struck out to start the ball game. Then he hit a ground ball to Mauer. It's headed for right field. Mauer cut it off. Fed Gibson from about 40 feet to get the final out of the 3rd inning. Pulled foul off the net above the Kansas City dugout.
There's a changeup right there by Gibson to Merrifield, and was way inside. Merrifield was able to get some bat on that ball and push it foul. And that changeup just, you know, he was able to get to it, but it makes his fastball play a lot harder than what it is.
On the ground. Gobbled up by Escobar to Mauer. One away. Another ground ball out for Gibson. As we all know, Target Field's a great place to spend time with the people who are important to you. Groups of 25 or more are eligible for discounts on tickets, and per ticket fees are eliminated. Arrange your group of 25 plus today by visiting twinsbaseball.com/groups and ask about a Twins Target Field group outing. Enjoying. I was going to say good. It's not good for you, but good food. There's a ball punched to right field, and Orlando's gotten a couple of hits in his 2 at-bats. And that'll bring up Melky Cabrera, or excuse me, bring up Jorge Bonifacio. Here you were complaining about your score sheet, and I'm having a hard time correcting both sides of my scorecard here. Cabrera had gone over 2. One strike. Blue Jays opened up the ball game in Baltimore. They lead the Orioles 5-0 with Baltimore hitting in the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Good fastball right there, down and in with some sink to the right-hand hitter Bonifacio. Was able to not able to get to that pitch, swing right over the top of it. I'm going to go back in there with a sinker. Try to get the same results on that 0-1 pitch.
One and 2.
Try it again.
Adrianza in the corner makes a catch, and that's out number 2. And that'll bring up Drew Butera.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins LLC.
2 down, a runner at first, and now Butera. Strike on the outside corner.
Good fastball right there at the knees. Get in the zone, get in the head. You know, just 17 for 22 first pitch strikes. And we always talk the recipe for a pitcher to be successful on the mound, and getting ahead and pitching ahead in the count is, you know, one of the main ingredients.
75 pitches. 55 strikes. 74% strike percentage. Foul back. One and two.
Pitch count by inning. Hadn't thrown more than 15 pitches in any inning, so a total of 76 with 2 outs.
Outside, and it's 2-2.
Football season, and lucky got us a football score, 14-0.
Just off the outside corner. Now it's a full count. Twins haven't been holding Orlando, but he will take off here with 2 down and a full count. And Gallagher on deck. And fouled back. Still raining in Chicago. They say it's supposed to clear off there, but the White Sox have a 3-1 lead. Chris Archer leaving after giving up 2 home runs in the first inning with some forearm tightness. And significant because Twins go from here to St. Petersburg. And Archer wasn't scheduled to pitch in that game anyway. But the Rays, one of the teams in pursuit of the Twins. The problem for the Rays, they're playing the White Sox now, and everybody else after that are contending teams. It's just going to be a tremendous uphill climb for the Rays, or so you'd think. 3-2.
Well, that climb just got just a little bit harder. Is anything significant wrong with Chris Archer?
Absolutely. Another scoreless inning for Kyle Gibson. He's pitched 6 of them tonight, and the Twins have given him 14 runs of support. mobile. Anthony Rizzo with a couple of hits. Wild game, and the Cubs won it 14-12. Now a 4-game lead over Milwaukee in the National League Central. Jeff Samardzija with a good outing. Tough loss for the Cardinals in 10, 2-1 to the Giants. Indians have now won 10 in a row. Corey Kluber against a dismantled Tiger team in their 10-game winning streak. The Cleveland starting rotation has pitched to a 1.38 ERA. They've gone through the rotation twice with an ERA of 1.38. Gibson's ERA going down tonight after 6 shutout innings, and I'm guessing by the looks of things that'll be enough from Kyle tonight. Chris Jimenez with 1 strike and now 2.
Safe to say that the Cleveland Indians are on fire. Wow.
They have taken control not only of the American League Central, but they're starting to take control of the American League. Houston won its first game. They're playing the second game scoreless in the 5th. But at the start of play today, the Indians were just 2.5 games behind the Astros for the best record in the league. And the Red Sox are right up there too, although the Red Sox lost today. That's significant to the division leaders, Jimenez striking out, but it will be significant perhaps too for Twins fans, because if the Twins get into the wild card game, and if they win the wild card game, they will play the team with the best overall record among the 3 division winners. And right now it's become a lot closer than it was at any point really since Memorial Day, when the Astros got off to their great start.
Who'd you rather play, Houston or Cleveland?
That's a really good question. I think the average, or the most fans would have said Houston before the Verlander trade, but now they've got a much deeper rotation. They also had some health issues with Keuchel and McCullers. Their off-speed pitch, 1-1. There's a reason those teams are on top in their divisions. You're looking for an answer? I would take Cleveland just based on the familiarity.
Me too.
I think the Twins have proven that although they're trailing in the season series with Cleveland, they've proven over the last couple of years that they can play good baseball against the Indians, particularly in Cleveland. Adrianza lifts it deep to the right field corner, and gliding after it is Bonifacio, and the catch 2 away. So in the Central, the Indians are trying to run away and hide, and they've got the second biggest lead, and the Twins in decent position in the wild card race. Nico Goodrum getting a nice round of applause. First time his name's been announced in a big league ballpark. How about that?
What a feeling.
First pitch, foul back.
Get away, Nico.
Goodrum, 25 years old, as LaTroy mentioned, 2nd round pick for the Twins back in 2010.
No use of wasting time. Just get up there and swing the bat.
That's down the line, foul, 0-2. Goodrum's game came together this year. Actually started to come together last year. Finally emerged out of Fort Myers to Chattanooga, hit .275 most of his season last year. Had some health issues last year. 0-2. Just missed the corner. He's got some tools. At 2014 full year at Fort Myers, he stole 35 bases, was only caught 4 times. And as we said, he's another switch hitting infielder
and outfielder. Versatile player.
Yeah, he's a
utility guy.
Right. He can play some in the outfield now. Work the count even at 2-2. And now 3-2 with another switch hitter, Vargas on deck. So far he has swung at strikes and taken the non-strikes.
You don't walk that often.
Splintered his bat. Butera with a nice play to Gallagher, the pitcher, and Goodrum is in the books as a hitter. And the Twins are scoreless in the sixth. Quite a game it's been.
It's been a lot going on. Started off in the first inning where the Twins were able to, get on board four straight. The first four guys scoring. Buxton with the swinging bunt. Dozier with the 3-run shot in the fourth inning. Put the lead at 13-0. And then Escobar with the 13th home run of the season for himself in the fifth inning. And Gibby, 6 innings, 5 hits. Using all his pitches, getting ahead in the count, continue his surge at the end of the 2017 season.
And the Royals will hit here in the 7th against Taylor Rogers, who hadn't pitched in a while. So he'll get presumably just 1 inning. He does come in for the 57th time. Rogers last pitched Sunday in Toronto. One and 0 to Gallagher. He drives one softly down the right field line. And Granite is in right field. And a leadoff single here in the 7th. Kenny Vargas in the game at first base. He'll lead off the bottom of the 7th. Chancellor Cuthbert. And he hits one to left center field. That's down for a hit. Gallagher will round second and hold up there. First and second, nobody out.
Very good night for Kyle Gibson. 81 pitches, 58 strikes, 22 batters faced, 17 first pitch strikes.
2 down. Brandon Moss will hit. I would guess that. And how many years were you in the minor leagues before you came up and stayed in the big leagues?
Drafted in '91. I came up and stayed in May of '97.
Okay, so you spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, and you must have developed friendships with players from other teams. I just saw Cuthbert with a base hit, and he was chatting with Vargas. And the only connection they could possibly have is that they played against each other a lot in the minor leagues. That is a fair ball. Vargas with the pickup, and he'll beat Moss to the bag, 1 away. So you develop a lot of friendships, I would imagine, in the minor leagues that then are carried forward to those lucky enough to play against each other in the big leagues. And then you bounced around in your career, and you probably found yourself sharing a clubhouse with some of the guys who were your opponents in the minor leagues.
It's true. I mean, but this day and age, you know, these guys, you know, Chesler's from Nicaragua.
Right.
So they probably, I think Vargas played some in the Dominican, and you know, who knows, Chesler could have played in the Dominican and won a ball or something like that.
Caribbean World Series.
Caribbean World
like
Series.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Nicaragua got to the Caribbean World Series, but yeah.
1-0 the count.
Chesler
to see. Basically a tune-up inning for Rogers, and he's intent on trying to make it a scoreless tune-up inning. 1-1. Mondesi singled as a left-handed batter in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss.
Good sweeping slider right there from Taylor Rogers. Got up under the swing of Raul Mondesi Jr.
43 at bats, 18 strikeouts. That's one of the issues for Mondesi. Making contact.
His last at bat with his base hit stopped the 0-for-18 skid.
2 down. And now Rogers will go after Gordon to try to keep the shutout alive. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier.
It's a good breaking ball right there, just for a strike from Taylor Rogers. Went right after him. Was able to get the punch out.
After today's game, there are 27 games left for the Twins in the regular season. Well, let me put it this way. There are 27 games left scheduled. Given the bunching on top of the American League wild card standings, it seems not likely. It seems potentially possible that there will have to be a play-in game or two to get into the wild card spots. Honestly, you know,
you're right. It's starting to look like it's something that's going to happen.
It almost seems as if now, with all these teams bunched together, it would be more unlikely that a play-in game isn't necessary. I mean, there's a number out there that will be enough to get into the wild card, and you've got half dozen teams at least who are capable of getting that number of wins. Buxton in center field. Rogers has his scoreless 7th, and you're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. Twins with this were away early. 4 in the first, 6 in the second. And 2018 season tickets are on sale. In addition to securing your spot for the 2018 season, you'll be guaranteed postseason tickets for this year should the Twins make the postseason. Don't miss an inning of postseason play and experience exclusive sweet spot benefits such as 10% off food and beverage at Target Field. And for more info or to place a deposit, visit twinsbaseball.com/season tickets today. New pitcher for the Royals, Trevor Cahill, coming out of the bullpen to pitch to the Twins in the 7th inning.
Cahill traded over from San Diego this year. A member of the 2016 World Series champion Chicago Cubs. Played a huge role in their playoff run last year.
The one guy that was most rumored to be traded out of that San Diego bullpen, Brad Hand, is still there. 1-0 to Kenny Vargas. First plate appearance, entered the game defensively for Mauer in the top of this inning. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
He's out shagging early on the field, and Vargas was taking early BP, but he was hitting off the tee with J-Ro, the hitting coach, working on some things.
Mauer left the game 4 for 4 with a .303 batting average.
Not a bad night, huh?
No. He's had 5 hit games, but get to this part of the season and you have a chance to give one of your regular players some rest. You let the personal achievements take a back seat. That's why Dozier's out. Jimenez would probably be out, except in the original lineup, Mitch Garver was the designated hitter. Twins have just the 2 catchers, expecting the imminent return of Jason Castro. And so that may impact the lineup tomorrow, with Jimenez almost forced to go the full game here tonight. 3-2 to Vargas. Buxton will follow.
There's a good chance, I'm sure. Who's starting for us tomorrow?
On the mound, it's Irvin Santana.
Carver hadn't caught Santana. Jimenez might be catching it. Day, night. Night, day. It's a good chance.
The chance, too. I mean, Jason Castro has to pass the concussion protocol before he can be activated. And Vargas takes a walk. Cahill not winning any points in the Royal dugout with an opening walk here in the 7th inning. There is a chance, I would imagine, that Castro could pass his concussion protocol test either tonight or before the game tomorrow and be active for tomorrow's game. We'll have to wait and see. Here's Buxton. 2 hits and 2 groundouts.
That would be fantastic if he passed his concussion protocol and be able to get back.
3rd hit of the night for Byron Buxton, jumping on the first pitch. A hot ground ball between Cuthbert and Mondesi. And the Twins have runners at first and second with nobody out.
Sinker right there. Buxton was able to shoot that ball between the shortstop and the third baseman. It was 3rd hit of the game.
And now Jorge Polanco. An RBI double in the first, an RBI single in the second. Then a couple of fly balls to center. 1 strike. One strike to Polanco. And another swinging strike. Toronto leading Baltimore 7-1. Bottom of the 8th inning at Camden Yards. And Texas leading the Angels 3-2, bottom of the 7th, threatening to add more runs. Again, those two games important because if the Twins win, if the Angels and Orioles both lose, the Twins will have their largest wild card lead since we started keeping track, 2.5 games.
Giancarlo Stanton went deep for the 52nd time.
Imagine that.
Bless his heart. Wow.
And another off-speed pitch and a strikeout of Polanco, 1 away. And now Eduardo Escobar with a triple and a home run.
Eduardo Escobar, the triple and the home run tonight.
On the outside corner, strike one. It's hit well to left center field. That's got some carry. That's back and gone. A 3-run home run to the opposite field.
Now you see why it's okay for Sano to not rush back into the lineup. Make sure he's 100% before he comes back, because you have everybody swinging a hot bat right
now. A triple and 2 home runs. Neither one was cheap. And a strike. Again, the team record for runs scored in a game is 24. Twins a long ways from that.
Mr. El De La Pica, the 2nd home run tonight.
Garver takes inside.
The Twins have scored 14 runs. Many times? 3 times this season. And all 3 times, Cal Gibson's been on the mound.
Yeah, how about that?
Once in May, once in June, and once in early September.
As it stands right now, the Twins have made some history. Their largest number of runs in a shutout is 16. Now they've got 17.
Just got to keep the shutout.
Jimenez draws a walk. Or excuse me, Garver draws a walk.
Score right here gets him a fastball, middle away, down just a little bit. He stayed on that pitch and drove that ball right over the 377-foot sign in left field.
Might be the most popular guy on the team. Everybody loves Eduardo Escobar. Brings such personality to the team.
El De La Pica.
And now here's Zach Granite. Bouncer to second. 1. Double play to end the inning. 3 more for the Twins that they really hope they won't need.
Sports update. Sunday is a two-sport, two-game day. That's because the Twins will take on the Kansas City Royals. Join us at 12:30 on Fox Sports North. And on the Plus channel, it's the Lynx and the Mystics at 3 p.m.
Well, it tells me that Kevin Gorg is going to be our sideline reporter tomorrow. Marnie Gellner is not, because she'll be tied up with the Lynx. 17-0 as it stands right now. It's the most lopsided shutout that the Twins have been involved in. Buddy Boshiers will be given the task of pitching a scoreless 8th inning. Taylor Rogers got a tune-up inning. Rogers pitching the 7th, and now Boshiers presumably will be asked to pitch the 8th. And it could be yet another left-hander, Nick Turley or Glenn Perkins, asked to get the 9th.
Boshiers pitched last night, inning in the 3rd. No runs, no hits, no walks, no strikeouts. Great job.
And a first pitch strike from Boshiers. Hit hard to center. Buxton puts it away. 1 down. Kevin Gorg, you working tomorrow?
I am working tomorrow. I hope we save some of these runs for when we need it, maybe on a rubber game day like tomorrow. But speaking of home runs and runs, Giancarlo Stanton, LaTroy talked about it. Holy cow, a moonshot tonight in the 1st inning. 52nd of the year, it broke a 3-game slump. That's right, they were worried about him. He hadn't hit a home run in 3 games. People in Miami were starting to panic. Well, panic no more. 52 guys, leads the next closest by 15. Gallo and Judge have 37. They're having awesome years. They're not even close.
All right, who cares what I think? Who's the all-time home run leader in your mind for a single season?
Single season?
Is it Roger Maris, 61? Is it Barry Bonds, 73?
Barry Bonds.
Really?
Yeah. If you wanted somebody to agree with you, got the wrong guy.
Buxton going back a few steps. 2 down. And Orlando's retired after getting a couple of singles.
I don't care what they say it took. He still hit 73 home runs. It's a lot of home runs. Nah, you don't get it. Nah.
I still got Roger Maris at 61. Here's Bonifacio with 2 down quickly here in the 8th inning. Boshiers with 2 outs on 4 pitches. Swing and a miss. And I have Hank Aaron at the top of my all-time home run list.
It would only be right if you had
Yeah, based on the same principle. Yeah.
Well, I have Barry for both.
Did you get to know him at all?
I sure did. I sure did. And you know, just hearing about things, you can never judge a person by what you hear from somebody else, but how they treat you. And Barry was a great teammate. You know, that year I was with him, he had some knee issues, so he was on the DL some, and you know, people didn't get to see this side of him. When you walk in the clubhouse, he's in there playing with all the kids. And so in San Francisco, you know, you can bring your kid to the ballpark and they get to stay in the clubhouse during the game, where you come in the game and Barry's in the clubhouse playing with all the kids, playing baseball with them and wrestling with them and having a good time. And that's the Barry Bonds that I saw. And then 2 years later, when I was at a golf tournament in San Diego, and he walks up to me, "Hey, LaTroy, you tell your son Dakari I'm gonna send him a check in the mail." And I was like, "Really? Why?" And I didn't know my son Kari had sent Barry a request to donate to this volleyball team that he was helping raise money, and he sent him a check.
A fly out by Bonifacio, and Boshiers pitches the scoreless 8th.
No, it's not the Vikings and the Chiefs from Arrowhead. Stay with us directly after this contest for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We're going to have Tim Laudner break down the offense, and there's been plenty of offense for Mr. Laudner to break down. Should be a lot of fun in the post-game show. We'll also take a look at Kyle Gibson's brilliant start. 6 shutout innings, 3rd consecutive rock-solid start for Kyle Gibson. We'll take you inside the clubhouse to hear from Paul Molitor. He'll update on how maybe Byron Buxton's feeling, get an update on how the team's feeling after what could be a fairly emphatic win. Still got to win tomorrow to win the series, though, guys.
Thank you, Kevin. Peter Moylan pitching for Kansas City in the 8th inning. Chris Jimenez takes a strike. Jimenez 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. Then A-Ray Adrianza. And then Nico Goodrum will get another at bat.
This next pitch by Peter Moylan will be the 200th pitch by a Kansas City Royal pitcher tonight.
Okay.
Number 200.
Now,
98 more than us.
Breaking ball and a strike 1 and 2. Now, when you were pitching, and at least early in your career, I'll put it, Moylan would not be able to go out there inked up like that on both arms. Blue Jays had a guy, and I can't remember his name, but he had to wear long sleeves because he had tattooed forearm. You know who I'm talking about? You remember the guy's name?
Either, but I remember.
But they made him wear long sleeves because he had tattoos on his, at least on his pitching arm.
I wonder what MLB would have done if he had a tattoo on the palm of his hand. Told him he couldn't pitch.
As long as it wasn't white, probably. You know, can't have white sleeves. Can't have a white glove. 2 and 2.
But no, the tattoos are just another way of players showing their, who they are.
And Jimenez.
Players weekend all the time when you have full tatted sleeves.
Bouncer to short. Mondesi gobbles it up. 1 down. And that'll bring up Adrianza. MLB.TV Premium is back better than ever. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. This to left. Gordon retreats a few steps. 2 down. And now Nico Goodrum for the 2nd time in his major league debut. Hit a ground ball, shattering his bat his first time up. Fox Sports North is proud to partner with the Minnesota Wild and Let's Play Hockey to collect gently used hockey equipment for Twin Cities families in need. Now through Sunday, September 24th, stop by select arenas and hockey shops throughout the metro to donate your old hockey equipment. Visit foxsportsnorth.com for details. And a first pitch strike to Goodrum. Fell behind 0-2. A little bit deeper in the count, and then hit one off the end of the bat.
I just thought of that pitcher's name is Justin Miller with the Blue Jays, who had the tatted sleeves.
Oh, hook foul. And everybody okay?
It's just cringe when you see a ball, lined into the seats like that.
2 strikes again quickly to Nico Goodrum. Yeah, you're right. I think that was his name. Took a long time for Goodrum to get here. Nick Turley getting loose. Tried to bend one over the outside corner but missed. 2-2.
Backdoor slider. Tried to sneak on that outside corner, Nico Goodrum.
Dribbled up the line, Moylan fields and tags Goodrum. And that ends the bottom of the 8th inning. Royals will face Nick Turley in the 9th. $17-0. Nick Turley brought in to try to complete the shutout. It would be the most lopsided shutout in Twins history.
Nick Turley, 5 games so far this year for the Twins. 0-2 with a 12.51 ERA, 13 2/3 innings pitched.
If he completes the shutout, the Twins will have overcome what was once a very lopsided run differential on the season. As of right now, they've scored 1 more run than they have allowed on the year. Now, to me, that's virtually a worthless stat. I don't like that stat at all, because the Twins they've been on the other end of a lot of games like this one this year. Chris Jimenez, for heaven's sakes, pitched in 6 games in the first half of the year because there were blowouts. More significant to me is a team's record in 1- and 2-run games, and that's where the Twins have really excelled this year. It better not become one of those, by the way. But the Twins in 1- and 2-run games are 31 and 21. Butera takes outside, and it's 1-1. You like that run differential stat? I don't think it tells you much. You'd think over the course of a 162 game season it might.
Yeah, but like you said early on, the Twins had so many games like this that it kind of completely throws that stat out of it. It just crushes that stat.
Right. In terms of how good of a team you are.
Right.
You can have 5 really bad games.
Or you just let the score get out of hand.
Or you can lose them 4-3, and there's still 5 losses. And you know, you remember the first half of the year, the Astros did it to the Twins twice, I think, in back-to-back games where things got out of hand and it got silly at the end. Jimenez had to pitch.
That just kills the bullpen right there.
Yeah. Here's Cam Gallagher. The only thing that might have kept the Royals from using Drew Butera as a pitcher today is the fact that it's September 2nd. You got a few extra pitchers out there to work with.
Every team has arms in the bullpen right now.
1-0. And now a strike. You were talking about, you know, what a great job Paul Molitor's done, and you were right to relate it to what happened last year. But let's just look at this year. That man has used 51 different pitchers. 51 different players. 51 different players and 35 different pitchers, including Turley, who was one of 16 starting pitchers the Twins have used this year. That's 3 rotations worth. Nub to the right side. Goodrum gets his first chance in the field. 2 down.
So Turley's known for his very good curveball, and look at that right there. A lot of spin on that ball, breaking down in the zone. Turley's out of Harvard Westlake High School. The Yankees 50th round pick in 2008. 50th round.
Down and in with a breaking ball. Our last update on other games that are in progress. In fact, it's not in progress anymore. Toronto has just finished off a 7-2 win over Baltimore. They've resumed play in Chicago with the White Sox leading 3-1 bottom of the 5th. And Texas is leading the Angels 4-2 bottom of the 8th. So this could be a really good night for the Twins, apart from the lopsided win. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Oh, and Oakland's leading Seattle 2-0 in the 3rd inning of that game. Moss on deck. Turley trying to keep him there. Three and 2.
It's only 9:15. I could say it now, but the game started at what, 6:10? The 17 runs scored.
We've just witnessed the most lopsided shutout in Twins history. 17-0.
A lot of guys having big nights.
Bauer with 4 hits. Buxton returning to the lineup with 3 hits. And Escobar joining in the fun with a triple and 2 home runs. Anthony LaPanta, this game was, as it turned out, over quickly, and a nice, comfortable win for the home team.
It's amazing how different one night can be. Tonight, all Twins right from the start. 17-zip the final. We'll show you how they blew them out right from the first pitch. How Kyle Gibson pitched his 3rd consecutive solid game. Paul Molitor's press conference all next on Twins Live.